Yeah, man. What's up?
Hey man, I am let me get this beautiful
Mm.
gotta get that in. Gotta get that in, bro.
Yeah, we ain't starting unless that's popping.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey man, I'm sitting here, dog. I'm starving too though, man. I can't believe I haven't eaten yet, so I'm over here dying to eat something. Okay. Hey, by the way, totally not a coordinated effort here that we both wearing snapbacks.
Right. This could just mean I ain't cut my hair yet. That's what this
Hey,
means.
hey,
When you on that baldy, you got to do it every other
hey,
day,
listen,
man.
bro. I remember one time, dog, we was doing the show, man, and I was like, I know I ain't had my hair cut in about like a good week, dog. I'm talking about like, and I'm sitting here looking, I know I'm looking like about Samuel Jackson and Black Snake Moan, bro. Myself was back there though, man. I said,
Nah.
oh
Did
no.
you see that? Did you see Samuel and in Hateful Eight?
Yes.
Ooh, when he had a couple of the strands hanging over,
Oh my gosh, bro.
I was like, keep that hat on, pimping.
Listen, man, I was blown away though, man. But yeah, man, that I thought I had this time around though, man. Oddly enough, I'm pretty straight, man. I think I don't got no reason. I just felt like wearing a hat for some reason though, man.
I honestly wasn't planning to wear a hat, but it just got so late. I was like, I ain't gonna have time to shave. I was like, I just throw a hat on. I got mic on. I got my I voted sticker. So I was like, let me go with a red hat. Oh, wrong side. Look at that.
Hey, so y'all did. So today was y'all voting. Y'all actually voted on the expansion of Medicaid out there, man.
Yeah. We did all of that. Yeah, we did that. We did some other folks that was calling me all day trying to make sure they was calling for Sarah, and I just told them they had the wrong number. Like, you ain't call Sarah, you called me, so you got the wrong number.
Hey, so listen though, man. I think that even then that's kind of funny because Oklahoma is it's probably the reddest of all red states these days. I think on the last election I saw that Oklahoma, every single county, Trump won it on out. So it made sense that he came out there for his small rally.
I mean, we if we really wanted to have the history lesson on what it really means to vote, we could get into that, but we still got to do our part regardless of how the outcome might be for our state. We still got to get out there because in my opinion, man, if you ain't voting, you can't complain. So
yeah, we voted earlier this month, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and it was pretty straight. I mean, you always kind of, the big thing here was that they were really emphasizing the cleanliness of it. And so when we went in though, man, we was in and out. It was pretty straight. Didn't have any issues at all. It's pretty dope. Yeah, real dope.
Yo, man, I know I know this the beginning of the week, and we don't really talk about what the best thing we saw this week, but I already got something popping off, bro.
What you got?
Man, listen. If we counting Sunday as the first day of the week, then I have to say the best thing I've seen this week is the support that your boy got during the
concert. Get that man the props. Give him the props.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I must say it was awesome to see the consistent numbers of people that was watching throughout the entire thing, even through the difficulties, even with Facebook being stupid. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is that, contrary to what people might believe, I practiced for this concert at least 2 months in advance. And I was, working on making sure the sound was right, sending people the early screenshots of stuff or the early screening so they could tell me how it sounded. We went through stuff. And so all of the little hiccups and stuff, we didn't have them. So just interesting that, the day of the concert that was the case. But, you can't really say nothing about that. Still fighting with Facebook about getting my doggone audio back. They hit your boy up again for the audio, like I don't own the stuff. So
I still think that it's still impressive though, bro. The fact that can even be an issue, that Facebook like, listen, this music sounds familiar there.
Yeah, or that it sounds so close to the original.
Sounds so close to the original there though, man. I think that's pretty dope, man. Now I was on, I had my little watch party, people jumped on for it. I was I was also pleasantly surprised, not surprised, but glad at least that people stayed on. Like, you saw like how when some of the versus battles had their technical issues and some people dropped off and they had to go right back on and it jumped right back up. So I thought, and not to mention that hell, Nelly had his technical issues almost the entire time because of the Wi-Fi, and people never wavered and dropped off though. So that was dope.
Yeah. And what I also thought it was interesting, I was talking to one of my homeboys at work, and he was like, bro, he said what it was Viacom, bro. They knew you was going up against the BET Awards, so they came after you, man, and took your stream down. I said, oh, that's what it was. I'll take it.
Let me ask you this, though. Did you watch any of the BET Awards?
I went back and watched some of the performances and stuff like that. I think it was interesting that they, obviously they were being protective of artists, and so they were doing more of the performances in closed settings, which was cool. But most of the sets were a lot of acoustic sets. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't really have any background singers. It was mostly just the main vocalist. So I mean, I thought it was cool. It was different, and I just feel like I contributed to part of the entertainment for Sunday. So I'm super grateful to even be in that category, and for even the small amount of people that, not even small amount of people that watch, but I'm saying the small amount of people that I took from that screening to either watch at the same time, have me on. So no, I'm grateful, bro. Just can't even believe, humbly surprised at the support, and just glad that everybody had a good time, got so much positive feedback, and a couple of people like, yo, when you gonna do another one? So it's been very cool, and I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it.
Hey, so what I liked about it the most, bro, is that I can appreciate, one, because I've been, privy to some of the behind the scene details. I'm glad at how it all worked out, given the amount of prep work that went into it. I thought that, if it was somebody's first time seeing you, go, that it did look as professional as I think that, given the restraints. I thought that it was real dope though, bro. I thought it was real dope.
Well, I appreciate it. And I'm like, I think what was interesting was because like even Deuce, like I said, him turning 17 is something different, because he tuned in for a little bit. He was like, Dad, he said, yo, it sounded good. He said, it actually sounded like a real concert. He was like, it was like super full. Like I was watching it on my phone and it was still jamming. So I thought that was super dope, because, he could have been doing anything else, and, watching Dad. So, which, the Kennedys was all trying to be great this weekend. You know what I'm saying? He turning 17, Layla out here doing her dancing shows, which I was laughing because I'm thinking, like, I don't necessarily agree with all the dances that she's doing, and I had to think back.
Woo! You was doing way more than what she was doing, dog, on any day, bro.
Absolutely right. We got some people grounded and kicked out the group because of the stuff we was doing. So
I still think about that when you think about that, right? So at least, right? So you at least know what she was doing. I always laugh about, we always talk about that dope Ellison show. Cold show.
The Flex show.
The Flex show. And I don't know. I remember the Flex show having a lot of people at the little Ellison auditorium. Probably one of the dopest things that happened to Ellison. I got to give him a little bit. It ain't too much, but they got that one. But I remember, though, that at the Ellison show, I remember all the different groups that got on out there and everything that was dancing. I remember we had girls that got up there, and some of their parents, they were just almost like, what in the hell y'all up here doing? Trying to be fast.
They parents almost snatched them off the stage. I mean, I don't know, bro. It's like I think for us, we've always danced that way. We always had parental support. I think the only person whose parents really didn't rock with what we was doing was Jamel's mom. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, my mom used to take us to shows. You remember when they took us to Temple? We went and shut Temple down, bro.
Temple was dope.
Them dudes was ready to fight us, bro.
Them dudes was ready to fight over at the Temple, though, man. All the rapper boys was mad.
They was mad because they was in the back trying to mock us and everything.
What I love about the Temple show, right, is that the Temple was at Temple High School's gym, and we packed it out, right. And I'm not gonna say we, but when we performed, though, I remember
we had a following.
We had a nice little following, but I remember Cleveland just having girls on top of girls on top of girls
But that's
all
because
there.
his sister lived in Temple. Because we even
Yeah.
went out there and hung out in Temple.
But I think that what was dope is I remember going back and watching the video after that, right? Busting out the tapes, right?
Yeah.
And I remember the older women that were like in their 30s there, the women out there screaming over them young boys out there. It was cold, man.
Yeah, that's when I fell off the pyramid.
Oh my God. So so much is epic about that Temple show. So for one, you falling off there and busting your tail is hilarious. One, but it's a testament to the professionalism because you got on up and played it off. And not that you played it off, you kept going, right? Going. And so yeah. So that was one. The thing that I thought that was dope is just thinking about that the homie Fat is on there though, bro. And that right there.
Yeah. But and I think that was like one of the first times we did the
first
the
time that he did the crew with us.
Yeah.
Fat was on there. And Henry, I don't even know where Henry is. He went to the army.
He was in the army, yeah.
Yeah, he went to the army, and we never heard back from him after he left though, man. But the Temple show was fire, but that Ellison show when we had the girls dance with us, oh my God,
that was a long set too. That was a long. It
was long, bro.
We did at least 20-25.
It was long though, bro. But yeah, that was. I don't know. That's a funny. I don't know very many. It was one of them moments though, bro. But yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, people can make a movie out of our dance situation. When we had the 2 times dope boys that we danced against, where they beat us in the beginning of the summer, we had to fight our way back. We had to fight our way back at Mr. DJ's and get them boys back, man, and we won.
I always laugh though, man, because it's like now that you know what I'm saying that I rap, people was like when I tell people like, nah, I used to be in the dance crew, like heavy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and what's funny about that is that I think that just the way that being at the level that we were at the time just kind of showed the showmanship that you have to have, the stage presence. But I think that more than anything though, right? Like I just remember, you know, as we evolved, like the homie TJ joining, and when we did the Mississippi show, and then we did the Randy coming out and did the Oklahoma City. Shout out to the homeboy Dennis. He talked about the other stuff. Though.
He bringing up everything, bro.
Talk about the fake afros. Listen, if you know, you know. With the fake afros, if you know, you know.
I wasn't part of the fake afro crew. Like I was in Oklahoma City at that time.
Man, if you know, you know. That fake afro.
With all that being said, though, like I said, watching her dance, like in her element, I was very, you know, she's into the whole scene, like the Dancing Dolls and all of them, you know, crews like that, you know. So it's very different for a dad to watch something like that. But at the same time, you know, I know she's just dancing, and I know that she's enjoying herself. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not just saying it because she's my kid. But at the same token, she definitely is a star out there. So
she was killing it. The funny thing about it is I was watching her. And so this is the one thing I think that's dope. Like I always think about that when I'm watching dances, I'm watching how hard and how clean they're dancing. And so while some of the girls seem like they had the routine down, she is on the number. Like boom, boom, boom. So yeah.
She reminds me of a young Dimitri. And it's like the way she was flipping her hair, and then like she would do just like the little subtle facial expressions. Like I was just like, she's killing it.
Demetri was cold. She was. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet Michi still got it though. But I think that I would be willing to bet that Michi can put together a cold dance routine now, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I would be. Yeah.
She was one of the best in the city, man, by far.
By far, man.
She definitely changed. She changed the way that we danced, because I remember, you know, when we had our thing going and we thought we was hot stuff, but it wasn't until we got into another crew and then learning a whole new style. That was the one thing I loved about Sequence, man. We always got better. We always were ready to kind of merge with whatever was new, because we adopted the metric style, then we turned around and adopted fat style. Like we just constantly evolved, man. I thought that was what kept us relevant, and people, I
Fat
mean,
Fat was the homie though, man.
yeah,
God,
man.
dog. Yeah, Fat Fat
Yeah.
was the homie.
Yeah.
Hey, man, so let me ask you this though. So let's talk about this though, man. So so aside from that, yesterday, right? Fabulous and Jada Kiss, bro, versus battle. Bro,
Yeah.
listen. So I know that you said, you know what it is for me, whatever. You can't listen to a whole Fabulous album like that, bro. Dog, this one is probably one of the funnier versus battles that I think I remember seeing, because that boy Jada Kiss was on that sauce, boy. He was about, listen, I ain't scared of him. This dude was already almost slurring before the battle got started. Before. And you gave him the mic in his hand.
Oh,
and
my
he
God.
is going. So listen, you got two completely contrasting people on the stage. You got Fabulous on here. Fabulous is already Mr. Cool, but he was extra Mr. Cool. Super chill. Jada Kiss over here he is lit. He is drunk as Cooter Brown. And the wild thing about it though, bro, I think that I don't drink because I don't want to be Jada Kiss in that bitch. Like I don't drink that heavy, but bro, Jada Kiss he was gone, bro. He was shouting out everybody though, bro. He out here. I laughed at the comments because I told you I'm real heavy in the comments. And so the boy DJ Clue was kind of behind the scenes. The boy Jada Kiss comes over here, dapping him up about 5-6 times. Somebody said, yo, that boy DJ Clue gonna have to wash his hands about 10 times the way Jada Kiss is over here dapping him up. It was hilarious, bro.
Didn't you say they were sponsored by Ciroc?
It was sponsored by Ciroc, because I think that if you remember before, they kept dropping 112 kept saying some stuff about Ciroc. Like I think maybe it almost like Diddy paid them to drop the plug, but now Ciroc seems to be the sponsor of it. And that boy Jada Kiss is sipping, bro, and he is sipping. And I've never. So this is what's funny. I guess I don't. Usually when you're around somebody drunk, I'm assuming that someone's drunk by the time you get there. It was crazy to watch someone get progressively more and more lit. It just seemed like with every single song though, bro, he was just more and more gone, bro. I said, oh my God.
And here's the thing, like I know it's a celebration because here it is, like you're introducing yourself to some people that probably maybe don't even know that you were the on that song or whatever the case may be. And I know it's a celebration, but at the same time, you also know that you're gonna be live though. It's just interesting to me that you would get that saucy.
That boy didn't give a damn. I mean, he was lit before. Like it would have been like, yo, I got a nice buzz already. Let me go. So it seemed like he was trying to maintain the buzz, but the tank was getting more and more full though, bro. I was blown. I mean, I've always seen Jada Kiss pretty laid back and chill. It was like the most, even for somebody who got that little catch laugh that you hate, it was the most animated I think I've ever seen Jada Kiss though, bro. I was like, yo, like you kind of out of character a little bit though, but it did make for some relief to the whole thing because Fabulous was being so extra cool, and it just it was entertaining to say the least. But I tell you, man, I live in the comments and watch him though, man. He was getting killed, not like Teddy Riley, but everybody had their shots that they had at him though, bro. So it was funny though. Oddly enough, while I still maintain, bro, that Jada Kiss, that Fabulous had the more hit records. So I think that one of the things that was cool is that they did play, like I was saying, all right, if you just put the songs Jada Kiss as a solo artist, that's one thing. But they did a part of his list. He picked the songs that he was featured on. So I think that because he picked the songs that he was featured on, bro, I think Jada Kiss won it though, bro. Like if you were, even though it's a celebration, if you were tallying,
yeah,
I think Jada Kiss had, And Fabulous's DJ was kind of, and you could tell that Fabulous is known for the chick songs, the rap with the chick songs. And so, there were some times that Jada Kiss had he basically had all street records, basically, up until he played like the Mary J. Blige feature. I think he played like the Mariah Carey joint, played all them old lock stuff though, man. But when he went there though, bro, I was just like, all right, you know what? I was surprised, but I would say Jada Kiss came out the winner. He was nice that night though. Lit.
So what all did Fab play?
He played all the songs you thought he would play.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, man. He played. I don't think that he you know what I thought what was cool is that when he played Breathe, like to me, Breathe is probably my favorite Fabulous song.
Yeah, you've been talking about it for quite a while.
Yeah. He played Breathe and it was dope. But then it was like he was extra cool about it. So because he was extra cool, he was like 1 to the 2, 2 to the 3. And Jada Kiss is already just coming off of over here cutting up. So then Jada Kiss comes right behind him and plays We Gonna Make It. And I was just like, oh my God. And it was song selection. And it wasn't that Fabulous picked bad songs. For some reason, his DJ, it was weird. It was weird though, bro. It may have been the order of the songs. Like Fabulous got into a bag where he played a bunch of.
It's exactly what I talk about all the time. Song selection.
Yeah. So it was the one thing that I did trip out about, right, is that like the Alicia Keys John Legend had about 100,000 views, right? This one had more than that from the jump. I mean, right off the cuff, they had about 200,000. And so I was just blown away that, that John Legend, Alicia Keys are bigger artists, internationally.
Bigger, but at the same time, I don't know, you have to be in a space to listen to them, bro.
Right.
Like, so, and that was what I told you. It's like, I know that that the particular battle with them two wasn't gonna be for me, but if you're into that type of style, then it was gonna be your bag. So it doesn't surprise me one bit that they had more viewers. I think that like I said, Elite, because I'm gonna be honest, even though people might know John Legend, I only know a couple of songs from John Legend. That's me.
They said he was the world's sexiest man.
I don't give a dirt. What that got to do with his music?
I mean, people know him. That's what I'm saying. People know him for being famous at this point.
Yeah, they know him for being famous. They also know him for being what's her name's husband too. So that's what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is, I think like when I look at Swiss and Alicia Keys, right? Even though them two are married, they have their own fame. And I'm not saying John Legend doesn't have his own fame, but I'm just saying like he just played Jesus on the Easter thing. So that's
I don't know, man. John Legend was pretty well established before Chrissy Teigen, though, as far as his own being his own man. Like, I don't know.
All I know is Ordinary People, bro. That's it.
Nah, you tripping. That first John Legend album, classic, though, bro.
Name 3 songs from the album.
He had so on that he had the holla holla holla. He had that. He had so you said Ordinary People. He also had listen. He had all I'm trying to say is our love don't have to change. Do you remember? Back in Granny's house on Christmas Day. Facebook gonna catch that because the boy was. I heard myself in the headphones, and I was sounding good for a second there, though, bro.
I'm just saying.
No, man, John Legend, and then he had the song that he had with Andre 3000. Ready to go right now.
That's my joint.
Ready to go. John Legend has songs though, bro.
Now what about the that one song? I thought I didn't even know. Hit you with the best chick. What is it?
Too late to make the best you ever had.
That is by far my favorite John Legend song.
I'm just saying. Legend got some. John Legend was pretty well established before he got with Chrissy Teigen. It ain't like he got with Chrissy Teigen and then he blew up.
I'm just saying. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying Swiss and Alicia's celebrity, in my opinion, seems more established than them two. Like it seemed like them two kind of, I don't know. Like I just It's just something about John Legend. It's not that I dislike him. It's not that I'm hating on him. I'm just saying it just doesn't have the you put John Legend and Alicia Keys, and it wasn't like I was just like, oh, I can't wait to see that. It was just like,
I think that John Legend and Alicia Keys on a tour for a concert would be epic. But I think that for a versus battle, that's when it's just a little different.
Yeah, but I also think their show would be a whole lot better depending on what their opening acts are. I don't necessarily like. I'm saying like you would like them two together. Yes, would make a great show, but I still need some different type of opener because them two kind of got the same lazy songs to me. Not lazy songs, but I'm saying more relaxed, easy feel type songs.
I don't know. You know what though? It had me thinking, right? So in the process of trying to prove that boy say he just smiled too damn much. Hell to the nah. I love that though, bro. He does see. Listen, that's no cap. John Legend seems like he might be the happiest man in the entire world, though, bro.
Yo, my favorite thing of all times is watching Jamie Foxx impersonate John Legend, bro.
He is all. Listen, I've never. Now that I think about it, I've never not seen him smiling. Like even when he's singing a song, right? He be like, he might say, "Cause we're ordinary people," and start smiling at the end of it. I love John. I love John Legend, though, man.
Hey, you know Shayla and Jerome, right?
Yes,
they son, bro.
He looks just like John Legend. Bro.
Yes, that's John Legend's son.
Yeah,
so
I think about that every single time I see him. Though,
yeah, he looks.
I said, bro, you needed. I said, listen, Jerome, if you take this little boy out to Maury,
yeah, baby NATO, it belongs to John Legend.
He looks just like John Legend, though, bro. And not that all little light-skinned babies look like him, but
no.
I thought that from the time that he was a baby and I was seeing him because he's about Landon's age. And when I started to see the pictures of him when he was little, he did. And there's this other little baby. I think somebody had took this picture, and this little baby looked just like John Legend. I said, bruh. Yeah.
Yo, man, I'm gonna be honest, bro. So, wait, I don't mean to cut you off. Were you done talking about the person?
Yeah.
Okay, man, I feel like our childhood is going down the drain every week.
You think so?
Bro, listen, I'm so disappointed with WWE right now. I don't even know what to do, bro.
Okay. I can see. Okay, you talking about? I thought you was talking about the overall childhood because
they ain't never going away. I'm just saying WWE was a big part of us growing up. Like, and so my thing is that I transitioned from liking the WWE because I thought it was real to understanding what it really was, and then getting into the business side of stuff and understanding. And then, of course, WWE had the WCW battle for those. I'm just talking wrestling stuff for those that's lost. But so then WCW came, they had the Monday Night Wars when wrestling was at the height of everything. For those of you who watched the Last Dance doc, you understand that Dennis Rodman came in and he was wrestling Hulk Hogan, like all of that. Yes, all of that stuff. Yo, Shaq, you know what I'm saying? It's very much into pop culture. So now COVID's going on, and so a lot of the wrestling promotions have shut down for the time being, especially because they can't have fans, and then now certain ones are starting to open back up. The thing is that, and for the longest period of time, WWE was the cream of the crop. Like, if you wasn't on WWE, you wasn't really nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because they had outshined WCW at the end because they ended up buying the company, all of that. Well, now independent, and that was the thing with WWE, they never really liked pulling in the independents. They always typically just stuck with the wrestlers that they homegrown. They were into like the bigger guys. That was their thing. So then now the independent scene, most people are learning from a different form. They just kind of like join the fandom. It's almost like, think about it from the standpoint, if you play basketball, imagine like a street baller all of a sudden come into the NBA. That's what the independents kind of took over. So now you're seeing a lot of the high flying moves, stuff like that. So fast forward,
Right.
WWE has this huge competition with AEW, which AEW was started by a dude who used to be in the WWE. Matter of fact, Dusty Rhodes was his dad. And so when Dusty Rhodes passed, he was like, listen, I kind of just want y'all not using me right. Y'all never gonna really use me right. Let me go. So he got together with some of the hottest independent wrestlers. They got with somebody that formed a whole new wrestling corporation, and they have been killing it. Like they just get it. They know how to use social media. They know how to, yeah.
Because which is funny because I got to be honest with you. I never saw Cody in this light in WWE. Like I didn't think he was like. I thought that he was a good wrestler, but I never saw him as like a main attraction. Like I didn't think that he was capable of that.
Right. And he really started to show that in the independent circuit because, like, I mean, his merchandise was selling out. This dude, you know, and he, you know, him and his wife, they just like Cody knew how to move and he believed in himself from the jump. And so fast forward even further, as AEW starts to pick up steam, some of his friends were still in WWE, and he would even tell them, like, yo, you just gotta like take a step of faith and believe in yourself. And I mean, you think about it. WWE just fired 40% of their workforce to include talent, like the wrestlers, the behind the scenes people, all of that for the like furlough and for all of the Coors virus stuff, all of that. And so then he got friends that got let go. So it's like, man, look, I got you. Don't even worry about it. Like to know that you got that type of connection. But anyway, the reason why I said our childhood is going down the drain, because WWE's product right now is so boring. Like I used to, like, you fell off probably about 2 years ago of watching it. Like me and you used to faithfully watch Raw and SmackDown. Faithfully.
I think that definitely. So I'll tell you what turned me off about WWE. What turned me off about WWE is how they try to force feed you certain acts as instead of it being organic, right?
Yeah.
So like by that, I remember back in the whole Attitude Era, right? I remember even somebody who was like Al Snow would come out and he would get this huge pop. And he would, even if he lost, he had his whole catchphrases. Rikishi was still, even though he's Hall of Fame and, you know, which is still one of those things. He never was a main champion, right? But everybody got their chance to shine. And it seems like in WWE, what turned me off was that they probably had maybe 5 guys that they said, no, these are the ones that we want to focus on. And so we're going to force feed these on you until you can't throw up. And once you throw up on them and you get tired of them, we're going to rest them for 5 months and then we're going to put them right back on you. Like it was just, I was like, I'm good on that.
It is very much so a point to where they don't have any really big superstars right now. And so like the last real organic person that kind of did their thing was 2 people. You got Daniel Bryan, who organically won the crowd over. And then you had Kofi Kingston. And they did Kofi so wrong, bro. Like I really, that's when I almost gave up because it was like,
and not just so. Speaking of organically, right? So even when you say not even just Kofi doing it organically, you got to also throw in New Day because I remember I hated everything about New Day when they first came out. I was like, what? Y'all really got these boys out here pandering to the crowd like they got some choir behind, and it was just, and then. I love how they turned that negative energy into the crowd and they kept going at it. And so you made 2-3 months later, you're hearing New Day. They're saying New Day rock and the crowd heavily, New Day sucks. And then 3 months later, you hear the crowd going with it. And then they just organically took off. But the build for Kofi was very organic as well, though.
Well, the part of that, though, was because, let's be honest, Vince had a hold of their gimmick in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that was directing them, had them doing the choir stuff and had them doing all of that stuff, the power, positivity, like all of that stuff. That was all Vince. Once he let them have it for themselves, they turned it in. I mean, who would have thought that pancakes was something like these dudes is out here running around throwing pancakes at people, bro. Pouring cereal on people.
I saw, I'm watching them. I see Big E and he comes on now. Comes down the ring and he's fighting, he's wrestling somebody on the outside. And I see Big E reach in his pants and pull out a pancake and slap somebody with it. Now, I literally fell out, dying laughing. I had to call Landon in the room. I said, dude, you got to come and see this ASAP, though, bro. I was in tears, though, man.
Yeah, I'm saying I mean, they brought twerking to TV, bro. They was out there twerking it up, man.
But now, though, it's like you can't, if they're trash now, right? Like it's working for AEW because they're putting quality product out there. So what is it about WWE that's making it so trash right now?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it's the top. Vince don't like. Here's the thing, Vince don't got it no more. And when I say that, I'm not saying so. Vince is legendary. He knows wrestling probably better than anybody else on the planet, and he has built some of the best memorable characters we know across wrestling. But the thing is with Vince is he's out of touch with what's hot right now. And so the thing is that all these indie wrestlers are basically taking all of the stuff that they knew coming into it. Because see, when from an indie standpoint, everybody gets shine. Whether you just the same thing that you brought up earlier, right? From the Attitude Era. And no matter whether you win or lose, you're gonna look like you're strong. You're gonna like it doesn't like it like this is what I mean by that. Kofi Kingston won the championship, like had grown men crying because finally we seen a black man hold up the WWE championship, and then for him to lose in 15 seconds. He lost 15 seconds to Brock Lesnar just because they just got a new deal with Fox. Like it was the most disrespectful, because what you basically said was anybody that Kofi Kingston beat prior to that was what like you just basically made that whole list of folks look irrelevant. And you can't do that in wrestling. So
didn't hold on, let me ask you this. Didn't Kofi, and maybe I'm thinking about now that they split the brands, didn't Kofi beat Seth Rollins?
No, he beat Daniel Bryan for the belt.
Right, but on his way to getting okay. I take that back because Seth Rollins was the champion over in Raw while he was in SmackDown, and they eventually did a strap against strap, but I don't think it was for all in basically though. I say that because he went through this long journey to get to the title, only to lose it when he got it to Brock Lesnar in 15 seconds.
Well, this is why it was organic. It was because at the time they were building up another wrestler who they was building up Mustafa Ali, and Mustafa Ali was supposed to do this gauntlet match where he was supposed to do fight all these dudes to work his way up to a title shot, where he ended up getting a concussion. So they put Kofi in his place. And the crowd just lost it because, we watch Kofi every year. We know Kofi for being the guy that you want to see during the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? And so he does all these.
Okay, so I'm not going to lie, bro. That is hilarious right now. And I'm only laughing because that reminds me of how we had the technical issues on the first time. And then when we had the technical issues, it was all on my side, bro. And I remember I was just sitting there fumbling away like, what in the world is going on, though, bro? But I think it's interesting, though, man. I think that you bring up a good point because, like, you can't blame the fact that, that now that there are no fans, because even though there are no fans, I think that AEW still is putting on good matches. They're still doing a pretty good job at selling or putting on just quality matches and quality events. And it's a lot of the storytelling, though, man. I think that AEW, they definitely seem to be more innovative with their use of social media. But even aside from that, though, man, I think that it means something to me that everybody gets a chance to shine. Like everybody, I saw Young Bucks, who one of the best top 5 tag teams, probably top 3. And I saw that even with them, they still played against they still wound up wrestling against what was the group name? Private Party. I had never heard of them before. and they wound up beating them the first time I had watched AEW, first time I had ever seen them. And the Young Bucks look real solid. I mean, they look real dope, but at the same time, so did this other crew. And so when they looked good, I was like, okay, well, it was impressive that they can be good, that they both can be good. And to me, it basically makes the other one seem just that much more polished or stronger, or however you want to do it, just because both look solid throughout the entire match, though, bro. So
Yeah, and that's the thing, that did make you respect Private Party because of the fact, like, these dudes, you have never heard of them,
never heard of them,
never heard of them whatsoever. And the way that they made them look, as far as like the near falls and like everything, was just incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Hey, so let me ask you this though, bro. We were talking about making the adjustments because of that Zima virus. And the thing that I think is interesting though, man, is we were talking about basketball, and it kind of seemed like these days that even the NBA might be up for in jeopardy. I saw that DeAndre Jordan ended up testing positive. Spencer Dinwiddie tested positive, and DeAndre Jordan said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not in for the restart." And I know that on the Nets, Wilson Chandler also said that he wasn't going. So that's like two guys from their roster that isn't. So a lot of these guys, a lot of these teams are having to get replacement players, basically, though. So my question for you is, does this season, if they go ahead and have a winner, does it become an asterisk season?
No, absolutely
I didn't
not.
think so, but it's feeling more and more.
No. Listen, man, this is exactly what I talked about in the very beginning when we started talking about this. Whoever wins the championship is the champion for 2020, because guess what? Every team has to deal with this. Now, I understand that every team doesn't have to deal with it to the extent of another team, but the same token, in some fashion, you have to deal with it. And it goes back to this, right? Let's say it was a regular 2020 season, and some person on your team gets injured. Do you call it do you say it's an asterisk now? Because, if we would have had, just like, think about it, right? Houston, the year that they were going toe to toe with Golden State, and then they lost Chris Paul. You know what I'm saying? Or when San Antonio was playing, and they was playing against Golden State, and then your boy with the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard, he gets injured. Like, injuries happen, so things happen. So a sickness is just like an injury. So the thing is that, unfortunately, whatever team that you have to put forth on that court, at the end of the day, it's still whatever the season is. You have to deal with it.
I think that, so the big thing really is that I agree with that. It does make it seem like someone like this. I don't think that it would be an asterisk season to no one else but LeBron. I think that people will try to make it seem like in his quest to top Jordan and get closer to being considered the GOAT. I could easily see that they would try to hang this over like, well, technically it was because no one looks at the Spurs championships. Like, most people forget that one of the Spurs ring, when you just count up their rings, that they had that strike season where it was a short season, right? So I don't look at this as any different of a thing, but I do think that I don't see them using that as an excuse for someone like Kawhi Leonard. Now, one of the things that it is interesting, though, is that now the Lakers don't have Avery Bradley, and Avery Bradley is their best perimeter defender. And so while they're supposed to be getting J.R. Smith, I don't remember J.R. Smith being that kind of defensive stopper. And so I thought that the Lakers, as constructed, would win. I'm starting to wonder now, bro. Like, and even though Avery Bradley was a small piece of that picture, I'm just sitting here thinking like Avery Bradley would be the dude who would have to guard Lou Williams if he came into the game.
But see, Lou Williams don't know if he's playing.
Right, but that would be my thing. That provided that the Clippers come fully loaded, J.R. Smith, like, it ain't enough to me. And
it's not enough, but you got to do something though.
If they had Avery Bradley and J.R. Smith, then I would be thinking like, okay, you're good, because now you got the defense. Avery Bradley can go out there and he'll get his wide open threes and he'd be good. I personally feel like after giving his collapse, I would think that you can trust him more. But I think that, by you having both of them, that does something. I don't know that.
This is
And
my
then
thing. This is my thing. I think if it's any team that wins that they didn't have slated to win at the beginning of the season, they will look at it as an asterisk.
like, I don't want nobody. I don't want Giannis to win, and then people be like, you know what? It was a short season. His MVP doesn't mean to say his like. No, get that man his props, so bro.
They
So
gonna
I don't
say
know.
it. They gonna say it, but
I do think that them losing Avery Bradley, and then I think especially if they lose Dwight Howard for sure, I think that it puts the Lakers at jeopardy to where I don't know that they would necessarily be the favorites.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. I still want the Thunder Boys to win. I hope all these teams keep losing all these key players. Not losing. Let me preface what I'm saying. Okay, I don't want anybody hurt. I don't want anybody sick. But I'm saying if you choose to sit out or whatever the case may be, I'm saying I want the Thunder to win. Like Dennis said, no matter what. No matter what.
I agree. I can see that. Let me switch it up on you. Because this is one that I called maybe a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Got to refer back to the tapes. Cam Newton to the Patriots, bro. And I remember I said, listen, this is going to sound crazy because Cam Newton is so on the other end of the spectrum from Tom Brady.
He is.
While I think that Tom Brady's roster last year was trash, I think I could get a couple people from Colleen right now, and I think that we could have went toe-to-toe with stopping that particular offense, though, bro. With that being said, though, man, the only concern that I have is that Cam Newton, the roster isn't that much of a difference, right? So I'm just kind of wondering, like, what are they going to put around Cam then? If they I don't know if it's going to make that kind of a difference, even though I like the idea of Cam being on the, and I couldn't imagine that Stidham, I think is his name. Last time I saw Stidham playing for a stretch, I saw him getting waxed at Auburn. So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I couldn't imagine Cam would be backing him up for very long. So it's a good look for the Patriots. But I'm wondering about Cam, though, man. Like, I don't know if he got hell, Cam didn't have that kind of wide receiving core at the Panthers, to be honest with you, because they let Steve Smith go. So I don't know, man.
I think it's a good look for a couple of reasons. Number one, Richard Sherman's kind of said it, is that, it's not like the Cap situation, but it's just interesting that this dude, it was an MVP candidate. Or did he win MVP one year?
Yeah.
Okay. So MVP caliber player who is struggling to get on the team, because from what I understand, the Patriots reached out to him pretty early, and then other teams really weren't, the dialogue really wasn't there. So while it might be, the only choice that he had, it's still a good look for both situations. Because at the end of the day, the Patriots are going to be scrutinized no matter who's behind, who's playing quarterback, because it's not Tom Brady. So you have to come in there. So, I mean, the only other thing that the Patriots could have done that really would have made people shut up was to get Cap. Other than that,
they could have got Nick Foles.
They could have. They can still have him. They can still have him. For real. Matter of fact, listen, you can contact the Bears, tell them that Ace Kennedy said to let Nick Foles go. We'll still pay him from the Bears.
Shots. Hey, listen, you the one who got Rex Grossman out of there. Can't you make that call?
Man, they ain't listening to me, bro. I done left so many voicemails, but they ain't listening.
I'm excited. Listen, man, I am happy for the boy Cam, though, man, because I think the only reason why it was that kind of delay was because he was coming off of multiple surgeries and they just didn't have the kind of access. So I think that by them saying, well, listen, hell, if you're on a minimum contract and all we got to do is pay you $1 million and then the rest is incentives, and we can bulk you up to maybe $7 million or so like that, then I can kind of see why they would say, well, for 1 year, yeah, we'll take that risk if you're not healthy at that low price. But I do think that it's crazy, though, that maybe it's because Nick Foles won the MVP and was Super Bowl MVP. I think that it's interesting that Chase Daniels Taysom Hill. They all get paid more than Cam Newton, bro. Like, oh, there's a lot of backups. And maybe it's because they had their deals locked in. I mean, Taysom Hill from the Saints, he was already familiar with the system. I understand that he has already been, listed as the heir apparent to Drew Brees. But I'm just sitting here thinking like Chase Daniels is a career backup quarterback. I don't think has ever been a full-time starter ever. Brian Hoyer, all these quarterbacks, they out there making more money than Cam Newton right now, though, bro.
Yeah, I get it, man. And the thing is that you know how it is, bro. What have you done for me lately? So Cam's basically gonna have to reprove himself in order to get himself back. I mean, I that's what it is, man.
Hey, let me say this before we go. I don't even know if I said it, bro, but I was laughing because we were talking about the NBA players and them going out to Orlando. Oh. I was watching First Take today, and Stephen A. Smith said, "Listen here, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Maybe this is me being the only one that think it, but these players gonna be out here in Orlando in this bubble city for some of them a month, 2 months, 3 months." Away from their wives, though, bro. He said, well, how they gonna sit here and cope? How they gonna do it? They going 3 months, ain't getting no cakes for 3 months. Dog, I almost spit out my coffee because I'm watching Molly trying to laugh and be professional at the same time, though, that I was in tears. I said, nah, Stephen A. And he was real. You can tell he's kind of serious, but joking at the same time, though, bro. I was dying laughing, though, bro. That boy said 3 months. So, oh Lord, bro.
Them boys will figure it out.
Yeah,
they got that money. They'll figure it out.
Hey man, so this is funny. So we were talking about Fabulous versus Jada. We were looking at these comments, and the homie Dennis said, "Hey, I got Fabulous as a top 10 lyricist of all time." I said, "What? All time? Like he's good, but all time lyricist?" I was like, I don't know. So then we were talking about who is all time, who's on the list, and then we were thinking like, all right, well, you gotta qualify that, right? Because you might say somebody's the best rapper, somebody's the greatest rapper, somebody's the best lyricist, somebody is this, that, and the other. So it had us thinking, man, after last week to go back and do the homework.
Yeah.
And who exactly we were talking about who is the favorite rappers of all time. Now, let me give it, and I didn't say favorite, I just said give me your top 10. I had asked this on my personal page. Shout out to the homie Shane Walker checking in. He said he got Biggie, M, Rakim, Tupac, Nas, the Jizza, KRS-One. He put Outkast because he said it was hard for him to put Big Boy or Andre 3000 over the next person. Tech Nine, Method Man said he couldn't put them in an order, right? Okay. The homeboy Scooter checked in, said, "Hey, I got Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Kendrick, Jada Kiss, Nipsey Hussle, Big Pun, KRS-One, Scarface, Bun B." Right? My homegirl Vanessa from Shreveport. My girl Vanessa, left, right, left her. She says she got Mac from No Limit, who I would have loved Mac locked up, but if he wasn't locked up, I can see where she was going with putting Mac, because I used to love Mac. All right, so she got Mac. She got Pimp C. She got Boosie Badass. Don't cut the main thing off. Don't cut the main thing off. She got Nas, DMX, Mia X, Busta Rhymes, Mr. Magic, 8 Ball, J. Cole. Now, mind you, my girl Vanessa is proud resident of Killeen, but she is very much from Shreveport. She out there, boo.
I can hear that in the list.
She heavy on there. The homegirl, shout out to the homegirl Natalie. She said she got Mystical in her top 10.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we got. So
Well,
we were talking about this.
Yeah.
Ace Kennedy.
What up, bro?
Who you got, bro? Do
Right,
you want me to go first, or you want to go on this?
I'll go first. Get my list out the way. This is now, mind you, I don't have no category like best lyricists. Like I told you, I listen to what I listen to. This is just my list. So here's my top 10 list.
What you got?
And not in any particular order. Just
and let me qualify, because Dennis, I'm thank you for correcting me. He said no. He said his top 10 lyricists.
But when me and Dennis talked,
right. And no. When I said he had Fabulous on his,
yeah.
He said, yeah, just wanted to clarify. He meant he got Fabulous in his top 10 lyricists of all time.
See, I'm just picking my top 10.
Your top 10, this is who you like the best.
Yeah. So I got Jay-Z, Eminem, Drake, Mystical, Kendrick Lamar, Busta Rhymes, T.I., Missy Elliott, The Brat, and Will Smith. And my honorable mentions are Snoop, 50, Rick Ross, Wale, Luda, The Game, Royce da 5'9", and Andre 3000.
Bro, time out.
And hold up. The reason why I have The Brat on there is because
hold on. Wale ain't better than me, bro. You ain't got me ahead of Wale.
Bro, I present company excluded, bro.
I was about to say, bro. I like Wale, bro. Right?
I like Wale a lot.
Go ahead. Tell me. You got Brad on here.
I got Brad on here because, bro, she wrote for so many people. Like she wrote for Bow Wow. She wrote for Criss Cross. Like these is dudes that were influential back when I was growing up. So
she wrote for Jermaine Dupri.
That's right.
No order on that.
Yeah, no order.
No order.
No.
If you had in your order that you have, if you had to say, all right, your five of that list, who would be in your five?
The top five?
Yeah, of the old list. You don't even have to answer that because
I'm just saying. Like I said, J and M are up there, and probably Mystical too. Like that's what I'm saying. It's weird. I think maybe it is the order. Maybe subconsciously this is my order. So again, that's Jay-Z, Eminem, Drake, Mystical, Kendrick Lamar, Busta Rhymes, T.I., Missy Elliott, The Brat, and Will Smith. And see, if I say that, now that I say that, T.I. wouldn't be above Missy and The Brat. So.
Yep. Good list.
Yeah, I really got y'all with that Royce da 5'9" though. Y'all wasn't ready for that.
Listen, bro. All right. This is the thing that I think that makes my list a little interesting, right? Because I tried to actually go in and rank my people, right? And I went through. I'm talking about. I made the mistake of writing my list in pen and scrabbled it all over. Have to redo it all the time, bro. Do it all over. But here's the interesting thing, though, man. I got my top 10, but just like your honorable mentions, I had to set aside because the top 10 to me was easier, but then I had to think about the honorable mention. So I had the other people below them, right? So here's my list. I got Jay-Z, number 1 all time, right? And people go back and forth with Jay-Z, Biggie, Pac, whatever, however you want to put them. I personally think that Jay-Z was what Biggie could have been, but because Biggie died, and I don't want to take that away from Jay-Z actually doing what I think Biggie could have been, right? So I got Jay-Z first. I got Biggie second, right? Because I think that Ready to Die and Life After Death, I don't think that I've heard any, even though those are the primary 2 albums that he had, I don't really recall. I can't think of anybody who's said something more potent outside of Jay-Z than those 2 albums, to me personally. Here's where my list gets a little interesting, bro, because I don't have Eminem. I don't have Eminem in my top 10. I don't have, I got number 3 for me. I got Andre 3000. I got Tupac as number 4. Number 5, I got Ice Cube. I think Ice Cube still had, I think I told it before, had one of the best 5-year runs in the history of hip hop. Number 6, I got Wayne. Number 7, I got DMX. And DMX put out the 2 platinum albums in the same year. If you go look at the concert of him doing Stop Drop, Shut 'em, the Rough Riders anthem, he's performing in front of, it looks like the whole world. You see miles. You don't even see the end of people though, but it's miles. But I got Rakim number 8. And while I've not been a big Nas fan, I do got him at number 9 on my list. Now, where my list kind of gets a little dicey is right at 10, right? So at number 10, all time, I got Drake at my number 10 as all time. And even though there was the ghost writing that people say
Allegedly,
I just think that overall, he just got too many hits though, bro. And to me, that means something. And
still got the hits.
Still got hits. Still has remained
relevant,
and not just relevant. Like I said, I judge hip hop by 5-year runs, and then how long can you remain hot after 5 years? How relevant are you? And Drake, you can't think of right now in hip hop a better artist. And then even when you go back 5 years, 10 years at this point, still there.
Hold on, before you get to your honorable mention, one thing I want to say about Drake, he got a lot of flack because he put out a song that was like purposely for TikTok, right? And mind you, the song blew for TikTok. Watch how many other rappers start trying to do that.
There are already other, kind of independent rappers who do songs for TikToks. They got dance routines to it. I can definitely see it. I mean, when you go out on look at
TikTok, but again, though, like you said, those are independent artists.
Big artists.
National artists. I mean, well-established artists trying to then copy that same formula.
Listen, I'll never listen to Kendrick Lamar again if he make a song like Tootsie Slide. and if T.I. is doing a dance routine song, Jeezy, boy, if y'all don't go on somewhere.
But why is it okay for Drake then?
Because Drake already sings and he's not looked at as hard as those other guys.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, I can see Kanye West doing something like that.
Of course.
And because of that, I got Kanye listed as number 11. Now, This is the crazy thing about it. I only got Kanye listed as number 11, and it was a struggle because I think that Kanye has had writers too, right? There's not been any secret that even though Drake had a writer, Drake has wrote for Kanye.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Drake has wrote for Kanye. Rhymefest has wrote for Kanye. Sci-Fi the Prince has wrote for Kanye. And if those are the people that are on record who have wrote, I'm pretty sure someone else has, right? So I think that because that's the case, it still doesn't change the fact that he still does have, like, the artist Kanye West still holds weight, even though when I'm talking about in the history, like, you can't write history without Kanye and his impact. So I got Kanye on there. Number 12, I had to do an honorable mention, right? I got Chuck D as number 12 because I think that for me, I rap because of Chuck D. Like the first time I heard Public Enemy, that's what made me understand the power of words. And that's what made me want to rap when I saw Fight the Power and I saw Flavor Flav get out there and say, Elvis was a straight up racist. He never meant nothing to me. And then when What's Collar came on, Flavor Flav said, mother, him and John Wayne. My mouth just hit the floor and I was like, yo, this dude is talking bad about the law. Loved it. So Chuck D, I hold him in high regard, and that's personal. Number 13, I got Busta Rhymes as number 13 all time, which is funny because Busta Rhymes got his name from Chuck D. 14, I got Scarface. 15, I got Luda. 16 is where I actually got Eminem, right? And a lot of people, I was like, I think that Eminem is a great rapper in terms of putting words together and everything like that. But I think that he, after Marshall Mathers and the Eminem show, it went left field for me, where I'm thinking like, all right, now you're just rhyming, and I like some of his newer stuff, but it still does it. I don't know. I below him, I got at 17, I got T.I. I got below T.I., I got Nicki Minaj there, bro.
Yeah.
All time. Below Nicki, I got Lauryn Hill. Below Lauryn Hill, and that's at 19, I think 19, I got Snoop Dogg. And then just also my honorable mentions, if I went more than that. 21, I got Big Boy from Outkast. 22, this is where probably gonna lose a lot of people who I'm looking at some names because I don't got Redman on here either, but I got MC Hammer on here at number 21 or 22.
Nah, we're gonna get to Courtney and Disney.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to Courtney in a minute. I got Kendrick Lamar because I just like Kendrick's wordplay. I got Royce the 5'9" because I honestly think that at any drop of a hat, I think Royce the 5'9" can out rap anybody, not just putting words together. Royce the 5'9".
That was it, the Book of Eli or the book of I forgot what it was, whatever that album was, bro. That dude.
Royce is the only person who I hear that raps aside from Eminem, and I think that he kills Eminem almost every single time. Like, and I sometimes I wonder, like, I know as great as Eminem can be, sometimes I wonder, does he dumb down his stuff when he's aside Royce, or is it that Royce is just that good? And I'm just gonna go with Royce. Like, I personally like Royce's rap style more than I like Eminem's, but I can't take away from Eminem being Eminem.
Yeah.
And then I got Method Man, and then I got The Game also at like my top 25, basically, if I had to go there.
So you ain't got Pusha on your list?
Listen, bro, I actually got Pusha. If I had to go with 50, Pusha would be in my. And here's the thing: I've liked Pusha probably more than most people since the first time I ever heard them, when the Clips was Eclipse, and I heard them rapping they got a song. The first song I heard from Eclipse was The Funeral, and I liked Pusha T more than I liked Malice back then. And so when I first heard the full Clips album, I've always been very big on Pusha T. I think he got one of the best flows in hip hop, though, bro. But I got The Game high on my list, though, 25.
Yeah, I like Game. Yo, so Courtney's list, man, he got Jay-Z, Pac, Eminem, Drizzy, Wayne, Royce, Nas, and Biggie, and then 3 stacks.
It's a good list, solid list.
Dennis got Pac, Biggie, Wayne, Jay-Z, Eminem, DMX, 3 stacks, Snoop, Hammer, Zero. Yeah. And his honor.
Zero, like,
yo, him and Mark have been pushing Zero for.
Listen, I clearly am missing the boat on. You talking about the Book of Ryan, by the way?
Yeah, the Book of Ryan.
Courtney is like the. But Courtney made a good point. I do like Rap God, but Rap God, and he said, listen to Rap God is the reason why this is gonna sound crazy, because as dope as Rap God is, it's the reason why I don't have him in my top 10. Because when I hear Rap God, right, I am highly impressed that he could put that many words and syllables together, but it's just rhyming words. It's rhyming with, 5 different ways to say middle of a lake, and you got fiddle of a rake, fit a bit of hate, still a bit of bait. And it, when I hear it, it's impressive that you can come up with that many words created, but it's just words. And at the same time, my list, I've heard people say something that give me that feel most of the time when I hear it. And I've always just been impressed with Eminem's witty wordplay. But Marshall Mathers LP was the album where I was like, oh yeah, he's saying something that's giving me chills because of his substance, not the wordplay of it though. So, but Rap God, when he's going, some of them, it's cool. I can't do it. So I'm impressed by that. But
Dennis's honorable mention, Meth, Nas, Redman, Q, Too Short, Drake, Kendrick, Kanye, Luda, and Plies.
He got Plies on it, and I've never been. I'm not gonna just poop on everybody's list, but I all time, like maybe it's just because you know what it is. I think that what I know exactly what it is, bro. I haven't heard enough of Plies to make me just say, "Oh, I got to check for him like that." And you know what it is. I think that I feel like maybe I've been away from Texas too long to not have, because I would have, if I did an all-time list, if I had to go further, I would have Bun B on there, but I would also have Slim Thug on there over Zero. But I just know people who stand by Zero.
What about Flip? What you think about Flip?
I would not have Flip on there, but I can see why someone would.
What about Chameleon?
So I don't hear enough from Chameleon. Now, mind you, I think that, so this is the thing that's crazy. So for me, one of the things that I say that my issue is that it's been a little different for me for maybe the last 5 years, right? Because for the last 5 years, I've been in artist mode. So I don't listen to a lot of people purposely, right? Like I for the past 5 years, bro, I think that I've probably been more into battle rap than I have actual music. And I've only checked for the people who I already liked before 5 years ago, maybe even before then. And so the minute that I started working on my own albums, I stopped listening for other people because I didn't want their sound and their music to influence my own stuff. So I purposely didn't listen to a lot of people. And that also puts me for probably about the last, maybe 7-8 years where there could be a bunch of people that I'm just like, I couldn't tell you one whole song from them. And this may be somebody's absolute favorite rapper ever though, bro.
Yeah. Cool, man. I think at the end of the day, bro, it's just it all. We always say this. It comes to personal preference because I mean, I'm sure if I really just looked at a list of rappers, that I'd be like, oh dang, I forgot about this person. And it is a lot. Is very similar to that. What have you done for me lately, or what's in your regular rotation? So, but
listen, bro, I'm looking here, and the one thing I'm loving though, I gotta be honest, I got Mystical high on my all-time list. I don't necessarily have him like in my top. So one of the things that would be tough, right, is trying to figure out where would I place Mystical aside from Twista, right?
That's easy for me, bro.
Is it easy for you?
Yeah, it's very easy for me.
Like I like bigger songs, right?
Well, I just think for me, the impact for Mystical was bigger than for Twister. Plus I'm getting tired of being compared to looking like Twister. So
you wear the hat backwards though, bro.
I'm just saying,
a little Twister-ish.
I know it. I mean, but here's the thing: we opened up for Twister one time and picked him up in a limo to bring him to the show, and so that's when I was like, I do not look like him for real. But
it is also, so that's the thing about it. When you talk about all-time lists, it's weird though, bro, because there are some people who I just like more than others. And when I listen to that, like this was funny. Even though I don't have Snoop Dogg in my top 10, I still think that Snoop Dogg is the most popular rapper of all time, right?
You keep saying that, yeah.
He's by far the most popular rapper of all time. And so I got Nicki Minaj ahead of Lauryn Hill because I just think that she's the best female rapper of all time. So he put 2 Chains on there,
He
and
definitely ain't on my list.
listen, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you there, Ace Kennedy. I like 2 Chains more now than I have. So when I'm going off for my runs, right, I put 2 Chains in, and I want to hear 2 Chains. And dog, I have to say, when I first was hearing him as Chains, not Titty Boy, I thought him as Titty Boy was kind of corny. I thought that he was almost like a Luda sidekick. When he switched to 2 Chains and he had Riot, when I heard that, I was like, okay, you know what? That's better. He's his own man now. You know, he's doing his thing. But even then, when you go back, bro, 2 Chains probably, if you did 2 Chains in a versus battle, I think 2 Chains would smoke a lot of people, bro. He would smoke a lot of people.
I don't think so. But I mean, you know, to each his own.
I'm gonna have to get the research department on that one.
You can get the research part. I'm just telling you from personal preference. Like when I listen to his bars, he don't be saying nothing to me. Like
what?
Yep.
Listen. So this is one of my favorite albums because I just was watching a video today. So it's funny because on the Mercy, right? Lamborghini Mercy, Yo TC something. 2 Chainz comes on and said, "Okay, now catch up to my campaign. Coop the color of mayonnaise. I'm drunk and hot at the same time." When it's cold, but it was probably it had my boy Pusha T on it, so I like Pusha T's verse the most. But the 2 Chainz.
This is what I mean, right?
He steals a show. Like he's the perfect.
No. To me, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. You put him on a feature, you're going to get a smash, right? Listening to a whole 2 Chainz album, he's saying the exact same thing, and every song is just different. Like
not to let I can see. Okay, so like this.
What is it? The Pink House album.
Pretty girls love trap. Nah, listen. Okay, so this is the thing about it. So because you know that he's rapping about the trap, right? I think that what I personally like about 2 Chainz, I like a lot of things about 2 Chainz now that I think about it. But I like that 2 Chainz production is always going to be top notch. It's not going to be like Rick Ross, right? But for the style that 2 Chainz has, his mesh of the beats on it, top notch. But I think that what I love about 2 Chainz is that he has just the right amount of features without him necessarily having it where like French Montana, like I don't think that there's very many songs I could think of that doesn't have a feature. But I think that when I listen to 2 Chainz album, you know he's going to be rapping about trap. But I think that what's impressive is that while you know what he's going to talk about, I think that while he is saying the same topic over, I still like, oddly enough, he's always known for his one-liners that steal the whole thing. But he has them in every single song, bro.
Here's my thing. Listen, I know it sounds like I'm always hating on somebody because of the preference. I'm not hating. I think 2 Chainz is dope. I like how he reinvented himself. I like that he has such a wide fan base. I'm saying for me, I don't like him. And then as soon as you let LeBron James EP your album, that's when it was like, okay, no, I'm good.
Listen, but I don't know, man. LeBron James has a great ear for music, bro. It's more than what you probably would think. And here's the thing, though, bro. I got to be honest. If right now, on the Bel Air 2, if the Bel Air 2 comes out, and let's just say if you said, Charlie, we got this bread, bro, that we can get you 3 features on the Bel Air 3. I got to be honest with you, man. I think that it would 2 Chainz would be one of the peoples I would want to have.
Now, right, because he gives you good features. You're right.
But even with that, no, because I like this, not just because I know I got an idea of what he's gonna say, and I'm probably gonna like what he's gonna say. So it's like when I look at this. So this is the thing. You saying that you can't just listen to a whole 2 Chainz
Just
album.
like Fabulous.
But I think I think to me, 2 Chainz, he's for one, he's gonna have dope production from beginning to end, right? But I think that 2 Chainz' style to me makes it easy to listen to. And this is crazy because you can catch everything 2 Chainz saying the first time you hear it, bro. It ain't like it's gonna be super complex, but even with that he says, the fact that it's catchy enough and not complicated enough, I think that it lends for someone who has high music consumption, someone who listens to music, a lot of different kinds of art. It's like there are all these new rappers that I might never check out. And when you put 2 Chainz in the mix to it, you can listen to a Chainz album or a song, and you might be able to repeat it word for word after listening to it 2 times, though, bro. I think it's dope, and it's not that what he's saying is whack. The more and more I think about it, the more it's confirming that I like 2 Chainz, though, man. But Courtney had a point. Rapper Go to the League was better, and he did have more content.
Okay, I'm telling you which album I was talking about. I'm talking about the Pink House record. That's what I'm talking about.
Pretty Girls Love Trap is the one that one might be based on a true story. And Dennis, shout out.
I could name one Lil Baby song, bro.
Yeah, you do. Which
one?
He had the I just went into some with the bop in it. And I mean, all of his songs kind of sound the same because this is the thing I think that's dope, right? The one thing I think that's dope about Lil Baby, I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard Lil Baby, I was just like, you know what? When I first heard of him, I didn't like that he had the antics. He actually had the pen diaper on, right?
Now, who is the baby? The baby.
That's oh no, sorry. I'm mixing them up. That's the baby, right? So when I heard the baby, and I'm thinking the baby, I'm gonna get to Lil Baby in a minute. When I heard the baby, right, I was like, yeah, he hella extra. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. When I hear the baby rap, I'm thinking like, yeah, he might be one of the best rappers, just rapping ability, right? The baby ain't that young. At least I don't think so anyway. But now Lil Baby, so here's what's funny. And shout out to Lil Chris Weston, right? Because I saw that Lil Chris had posted this video of of Lil Baby. Lil Baby actually had this song that was like a, not a Black Lives Matter song, but I had never heard him say anything that I thought was like very thought-provoking and conscious or whatever. And he has this style that's like the new people style. It's more about flossing, it's this, that, and the other. Content kind of the same. And so I heard him actually talking about something that had more substance in his same style. And I was like, yo, if I could get more of this from him, I would love that. But with that said, it made me go back. And I was thinking like, bro, I've never heard a whack Lil Baby song. When I first heard him, I was like, you know what? Kind of sounds like everybody else. But when I went back and I started listening to him, the more I thought about it, I was like, he don't. So the more I listened to Lil Baby, though, man, the more he's actually grown on me. And I have to say that I am a Lil Baby fan. And I can't believe that because I never would have thought that 2 years ago when I first heard him. But I've never heard a whack Lil Baby song, bro. Not a single one. And when I heard Drip Too Hard, I was like, yo, I like Lil Baby though, man. And then for that matter, I like Gunna as well. But yeah, man, they doesn't make whack music. Make for the new rappers anyway. Great music though, bro.
Yeah. I get that. Yo, man, incredible list, y'all. We definitely appreciate the input, man. That's what keeps us going. And we'll figure out what's popping for Friday so that we can get y'all's opinions and get everybody ready to go at it.
The Friday show is gonna be big. Friday show, we opening back the invitation. So holler at your boys if you're trying to get on that as well. What else we got? Friday is gonna be it's a work in progress, but Friday is gonna be a big show anyway.
You know how we do it for the weekend, man. We always pop out for the weekend.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's the 4th of July weekend though. Yeah, so that's gonna be yeah. We got to do that one real big. Um, Still running justice for the boy Javier Ambler. As always, follow the hashtag, follow it on Twitter, follow it everywhere as well. Listen, man, good show. I don't want to talk y'all ear off, but them Slash brothers, man, appreciate y'all for checking in though, man. One love.
yeah.